to a talk show, Young and Bold. Today, I'm joined by a friend here, Moses, who is going to give us a recap about unemployment amongst graduates. Welcome, Moses.
Thank you. The issue of unemployment, especially graduates, it's quite a complex issue and it can't be tackled overnight. And today's solution can become tomorrow's an obsolete solution. So it's an evolving issue, and discussing it on platforms can really bring out our understandings, considering that we all are coming from different profession, different backgrounds, and different understandings. And also the solutions we provide to issues on unemployment differ from one person to another. This is a discussion that is building up from a previous episode, as you have said, and I would like to bring out some points that I really felt based on what I heard and what I gained from the previous presenters, especially the two youth who were tackling the challenges and also ways of addressing, such as networking. I'm coming from a school of thought or experience where I've also had an opportunity to be employed and also to experience once the challenges of looking for work, and then how do I treat opportunities that I want or opportunities that I see can translate to employment. One, I would wish to really address the graduates and also pre-graduates, because the problem of unemployment, one, begins even before you become a graduate. Because if you look at our youth, some of them are suffering unemployment because, one, the job they were trained for and what skills they have, natural skills or passion or talents, may not match with what they have learned in the university. So you realize that once they come out here, the challenges of getting job wear them out, because the recruiter is looking for somebody who may have innate skills, who can combine both knowledge and skills that they have naturally to win or to come out strongly. So as a pre-requirement, I think we really need to understand as youth, before we become even graduates, that the choices we make before we join the workforce also determine who we are when we join the workforce. Then the other point is on what was discussed about networking and looking for opportunities. I think we should not limit ourselves so much on locally the job opportunities. I think those who go outside the country, it's not only maids and unskilled people. We have architects who are serving even in Saudi Arabia and other Asian countries who are also doing well. We have business people who are youths, who are graduates, who are doing well, who are going to buy products from China because maybe their training is on business and bringing those products here. So let's not also limit ourselves in terms of the options that we have. Nevertheless, I think the Kenyan market has its own challenges. And especially when you look at the networking opportunities. Kenya in itself, one, if you look at the demand and the supply, there is a discrepancy, that we agree. But who to network with, how to network with, may also be, I would say, a complex or an entry point that can, who to network with and how to network is also something as a youth or as a job seeker who is a graduate, you need to know forehand immediately after you finish campus. Because if you look at where these opportunities are, you need really to have exposure in terms of, do you know who to go to? Then, once you know that person, is it possible for you to reach them out? And when I'm looking at that aspect of networking, that's where I also feel that the government needs to contribute something. What should the government be looking at? Or what are the employers expected to do in terms of creating those opportunities? I think as the government, they need to engage employers. How should the government engage employers? Currently, if you look at our job market, masses of people are employed in the government sector, but very few are in private sector, simply because the employers in the private sector are overwhelmed, especially by the tax regimes in our country. Let's be sincere on that one. The tax regimes in Kenya, I would say, they are over demanding, especially if you are private sector. That's why even job startups within the country, if you compare with other countries, especially the Western world, we are not faring well, or we are not in tandem, simply because our tax regimes at times are warding off potential startups. Now, let's look at those who are currently operating. There are very few who have had opportunities created for the youth, simply because these opportunities are not within reach. How? We don't have, if you look at our employment policies, we don't have incentives that are directly targeting youth. Let me take an example of our comparison. If you look at the affirmative action that is strengthening the women in terms of competing with the opposite gender, you realize that that affirmative action has really given them a leverage to also come out and seek opportunities. Same applies. We need incentives that employers should hold on so that they can attract or they can create more opportunities to youth. I'll give an example of something I've not seen and I feel it can help. Creating subsidies. If an employer is creating more opportunities for the youth, then such employer should be given subsidy. Because if you look at the number of youth in this country and the energy they have, they can contribute positively and more aggressive to, one, production sectors, two, those sectors where you realize that age is a factor. Because if they are running away or they are not being absorbed, then it means there are few opportunities for them to compete on. And you realize now they end up, most of them, losing hope in terms of seeking opportunities. Then the other aspects are also on policy. And that policy touches on now the affirmative action I was saying. We don't have policies that give affirmative action to youth in terms of they can also compete aggressively with the experienced people, because it is there. And I've heard in the previous session that experience is one of the best-selling strengths for people who are seeking job opportunities. Then the other one is on communication and linkages. How employers can be linked to the youth. If we can have government programs, linkages between universities and the employers, I believe that can be an acceleration point for youth getting networked with the potential employers. And I believe I've seen some companies, especially in the financial audit sector, which go directly recruiting or giving symposiums or opportunities to go and recruit potential youth. But you see, that is only limited to especially those financial audit firms. If we can have even the industrial sector, the engineering sector, farms going directly and both building capacity of youth and also seeking opportunities in terms of seeing who has the right potential to absorb. That in itself also gives the youth who are in those universities more energy to incentives, those linkages. What was the other one? I can't remember. But, yeah, but the one on the university to me was what was coming out, because I used to see PwC do it, KPMG, and you see those are financial audit firms.
Okay.
They come even picking engineers to go and work on financial. So you realize even these engineers, they don't end up being engineers.
Okay.
They end up in the financial. But to me, it also builds the careers of people, because you realize my potential actually wasn't in engineering, but it was in. So that person, by the time he leaves university, the engineering aspect, he may leave university and go Damakas looking for engineering opportunities. Yet, his capacity was in. If you go to PwC, because some of my classmates in high school are engineers, they work there.
Wow.
And yet, if you come to where I work with engineers, you realize even those engineers are applying the same financial skills that they learned there in part of their practice. Not in the designs, but in terms of managing now projects. So that is the point I'm really trying to bring out.
What you have been saying. Do you believe, like this saying the youth are saying, most of the youth, let's keep it on youth graduates.
Yes.
Do you believe in this saying that they say, it's not what you know, it is who you know, so that you can get a job? Do you believe in that saying, or do you believe in those myths?
Yeah, who you know matters.
Yeah.
Because even who you know may model you to knowing where to get these opportunities. Even me, there are people I've looked upon who have helped me know where do I get opportunities, because I look at them, their career lines mirror what I want to do. So at the end of the day, it matters. Now, coming into the third world countries, we also have another look or another dimension to it in terms of who will give me that push, that energy, that extra energy or force to be where I want to be. So, yeah, it works, and it has also two sides. Because who you know sometimes may not push the way the market should see it as a right way of doing it. Then on the other side, who you know can really be a link to where you want, or can also be that mirror image to show you where you should go and seek opportunity. So I do agree. In one way, who you know can really help you get where you want, and also link you to the opportunities.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Thank you, Moses, for taking us through this recap for our talk show on Young and Bold about unemployment amongst graduates. Thank you, viewers, for watching our Young and Bold. That was Moses. Thank you. Please stay tuned and remember to share. Don't forget to join us on our next episode. Thank you.